The Orbital update is upon us, and so are its patch notes. So let's get into it. Hey travelers, welcome back to Ghostlight. So, the Orbital update was released on PS5 early this morning, and after getting the kids off to school, I was able to spend a few hours exploring all of the features of this new update on livestream, discovering them together with all of you. So, let's run through these patch notes, and I'll give you my take on what I experienced along the way. So here it is, No Man's Sky version 4.6, the Orbital update. Now, the release log says it's available on all platforms, but during my live stream, many of you were reporting that the update hadn't yet dropped on Xbox yet. So hopefully it's out by the time this video goes live. Now this update is packed with features. Sadly, no lore to chew on, but it's okay. With improvements to racing guild standings, system economy, and freaking ship building, I'm here for it. Now before we start, I just want to say, I do play on PS5, and at the time of this recording, my UI was still pretty glitchy. As you can see, the game script naming conventions for many of the new features, most of those dealing with the new ship fabrication station. The folks at Hello Games have been busy fixing everything that we send across the send desk. And that said, this has now been fixed on PS5. All the UI is back to the way it should be, with update 4.61. Now, the most notable feature of this update is the new space stations, which we've known about for about a year now. And it's not just that we have new space stations, but it's also how these stations are generated that have been updated. Hello Games cites improvements to their game engine that allowed for these dramatic spaces. Now here we see an update to the economy scanner. Admittedly, I couldn't get this worked out on stream, but I did go back to dive in and found out that if you select the Scan for Trade Outpost feature on your ship, you'll also get the option to scan for surges as well. This isn't very intuitive, but this will trigger a timed mission in your log, which will help you navigate to a system that has quite the boost in purchasing power for your items. Now, I didn't actually have any of the valuable items for this station, but here you can see that they're willing to pay over 90% of what the base value for this item would be. That's pretty good. This is a great update to refresh a mechanic that I've been ignoring for quite some time, the economy system. Back in the early days of No Man's Sky, cycling a trade route was the best way to earn a lot of units, and many of us would grind for hours to plus up our coffers. And this seems like a great way to bring that experience back. Another economy-based improvement is an update to how the race and guild standing affects a system economy. To start, now you can sell, or rather donate, a desired item to a guild envoy to quickly progress through their ranks. These types of transactions appear to be limited for each system, but you can make quite the dent in your guild reputation after a bit of grinding. Now these envoys also have wares to sell, and the price of which seems to be related to your standing in the guild. Some of these wares are free, while others are marked at a discounted rate. And which envoy appears on which station also seems to be random, as it's not linked to the system race as you might expect. Now the race standing works very similarly, but it is currently bugged to our favor. As you visit any of the technology merchants on a space station, you'll notice a discount when buying and selling tech that is directly related to your standing with that particular race. Now, a true traveler friend doing the Atlas's work in my live stream, Pavel Duda, turned me onto this bug. If your racial standing affords you a selling discount that is greater than 100%, and you'll likely need to have the max standing for that race, the game will register a selling price of a negative number. Upon selling any item to that vendor, you'll currently be given the maximum amount of nanites that you can carry. That's just over 4 billion. Now, I imagine this will be patched out pretty quickly, so go get them nanites, trap. And as anticipated, since production started on this video, this has been patched out with update 4.62. So hopefully you didn't miss out on being a billionaire. But when your standing is under the maximum amount, this feature seems to function just fine, and it is a nice incentive to not be a damn nerf herder. Okay, moving on. So ship customization might be overselling this next feature. While it is a fantastic addition to the game, this is really ship building, as it's not currently possible to edit an existing ship. You'll have to scrap the starships, choose the various components you'd like to harvest, and assemble a new ship. Now, this station currently only supports fighters, haulers, and explorers, but it allows for a multitude of color combinations that you wouldn't normally find out in the wild. The note says there are differences between custom-built ships and naturally hunted ships, as indicated by a seal, which I can only assume shows up here, again with the bugged UI. And also, there's a difference in selling price, favoring naturally hunted ships. Once again to the space stations, each interior is now procedurally generated, allowing for the personality of each race to come through. It should be noted that outlaw stations and abandoned stations have remained the same and appear to lack any of the new station features, though you can still salvage ship components at their ship outfitting stations. Now, the aesthetic of these new stations reflect the system's races in both the lighting and atmosphere, but also in their decor. Korvax-like servers, Vy'keen-like storage, and the Gek, well, I love their fragrance ad and their message of unity here. Also, you can now switch your starship from a space station. Now, this feature was a little confusing on stream earlier today, as the quick menu still showed my ship as being grayed out, making it seem as though I couldn't switch my ship. But after some prompting from the chat, I got it to work. Now, this is a great feature, as it was very annoying to scrap a ship and end up with a lesser replacement until you could make groundfall or get to your freighter. Here we have more on the shipbuilding. Now, currently the only known way to gain new ship parts for the fabricator is to salvage them from other ships you own. Now, I know a lot of us feared ship customization as an option, as it would dilute the ship hunting experience, but in my humble opinion, this turns ship hunting into a far grander experience. Now, we're not only hunting for ships, but also components. I'm really excited to dive into this feature with the community and see what kinds of creations we can come up with. Fleet missions have been updated. Now, I haven't yet experienced this, though I did send a C-class mining frigate on a trade mission just to see if it would call out for help. So far, nothing. Anyway, it seems that our fleet of friggin' frigates can call out for advice or even help when attacked, and they seem to do this through the fleet commander. Now, how we respond will affect the loot that we get at the end of the mission. All in all, a very cool way to move us away from the set it and forget it mentality that this mechanic typically musters. New base building parts, this is great. Now, the Orbital update brings us a crop of 26, I believe, space station inspired base decorations. Now, these are slick and include a few technological pieces that the game was lacking, and you can bet there will be a massive update to the Ghost Lab set, guaranteed. Now, there have been a few small improvements to the front end and UI. Again, this is still pretty glitched on the PS5, so I'll reserve judgment until we get this patched and looking right again. Alright, time to get into the weeds. So here are the patch notes in all their glory. Much of this we already discussed, but some we haven't. Lighting modules for reflections have been updated to be more realistic. This one's a tongue twister. Affixed to flickering asteroids in systems with frigate fleets present. Your torch is no longer auto-activated when boarding a frigate. Mission icons will first appear in the center of your screen before moving to its final place. Now, this should be a big help. I hate losing icons in my periphery. Destroyed pirate starships have a chance to drop a pirate transponder, which is, I guess, what this thing is supposed to be. Once again, bugged UI. Now, donating this to the Mercenary Guild gives you an added bump in your standing. And here we have some general bug fixes that include things like issues with ship and player model parts misaligning, mismatch icons, an issue causing users to collide with doors, a variety of memory leak and trample issues. Now, performance optimization in non-combat zones like the Anomaly, Did we finally get a fix for the shake? I don't know. We'll have to see. Let me know in the comments below. Solar ships now put their sails down while in warp, which makes them doing a barrel roll a little more satisfying. Improvements to the Starborn runner's audio file and their ability to hover on planets. Issues with starships docking on landing pads. Fixed an issue where the galactic map marked an incorrect mission path. Fixed some NPC dialogue in outlaw stations and text prompts for missions encouraging combat. Fixed a missing texture issue on the expedition terminal. We had a quality of life improvement for those of us using the pad to delete items. I don't really know what that means, but I'm sure someone will let me know. Now, they fixed an issue where the emergency signal scanner could randomly fill your inventory when you had an active scanner stashed in an inaccessible inventory, like your personal refiner. Now, yeah, I tested this, and this is what you think it is. It seems our days of using the personal refiner to repeatedly reuse the same emergency scanner has run its course. It's over. This has been patched out. But there is good news. I went back and I tested the portable refiner duplication and the exocraft duplication glitches, and they both seem to have survived yet another update. And that's it. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please like and subscribe. Hit that notification bell so you don't miss any future videos. The biggest of shoutouts to my YouTube members at the Riftwalker tier, Ms. Merc and Raging Furball. And as always, sweet Riftwalkers, I'll see you tonight.